Welcome everyone, and welcome to a new video on Let's Talk Resident Evil. And tonight we're talking about the potential Resident Evil 2 Remake DLC. Boom! Now, all of the news sources that have been coming out have followed this to one specific thing. One thing. And that was a leak on Steam. And what did the leak on Steam have? Well, it did potentially show achievements that popped up, and it got people curious as to what it was. Clearly, something that is placed there just for now until we get a full list of new achievements and trophies for this potential DLC. So basically, you're telling me that we are getting teased right now. We just want more Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now, Capcom last did the story DLC bullshit with Resident Evil 7. But that shit fucking sucked, okay? That DLC was the biggest waste of time. No. It's not good. It's not good. Let's just bury it, and it's it. It's done, okay? Just done. Dunzo. Now, enough with RE7 ranting. With Resident Evil 2 Remake, there's so many avenues that they can give us for story-based DLC. Up until this point, we got the what-if scenarios, and we got all the costume packs and stuff like that. So now with the story narrative, and giving us more, and potentially paying for it, what can we get? Well, we could get Marvin DLC, explaining more of his story. We could get Ada DLC in the city. That'd be really cool. Kendo, I wouldn't really want to go for Kendo. Maybe more Leon and Claire? Maybe? But I think Marvin or Ada would be like my pick. Definitely Ada. But, you know, Marvin, I would accept that too. I mean, anything to give us more of Resident Evil 2 Remake. Think of it this way. It's been out for almost a year. And it's lived up to everything. I mean, it's a great, phenomenal game. And just what else can they give us to kind of, you know, end its cycle a little bit? Because we know Resident Evil 3 is potentially on the horizon. Resident Evil 8 is potentially on the horizon. So the next chapter is eventually going to begin. So once they put this out, you bet your ass they're going to put out the Gold Edition or the Complete Edition. And obviously, of course, re-release it on PlayStation 5 and Project Scarlet. But what could they do? What would you guys want to see? I mean, would you want to see a Marvin story-based, mission where he's getting up, into the police station, or that day on the job for him? Or would we want to see Ada, with her entry into the underground lab and to see, other kind of cool spy shit she was doing and pulling off, It's very cool to see where they could take it, because now it's not like, back in the day when Resident Evil 2 came out, and it was just like, that's it, that's what you got. There's no, adding on unless you buy a different version, and it came with, extra modes and stuff like that. Which, that's cool. But now it's like, hey, they can give us more story, and you would have thought that would have been a great idea for the last Resident Evil game, 7. But for something like this, for Resident Evil 2, people are so attached to it, and, just as recent as today, won a bunch of awards, and so in the UK specifically, and it's great because people have to realize that, when it comes to Game of the Year, all the games that came out, Resident Evil 2 Remake, it's called Resident Evil 2 because it's a game that isn't just a remake. It's built from the ground up. It's a whole new fucking game. So people don't disregard it at all. And I know the fans watching this aren't disregarding it. For anybody that's watching this out there that's more of a casual newcomer of the series, don't think that this is just something they slapped together. This was something they really had a vision for and built it from the ground up and presented it to us as a full-fledged game. It's not a remaster. It's not a, shittily done remake. They actually put a lot of time into it. So sure, top it off with some story DLC, and I'm a happy guy. You guys will be happy, right? You guys are happy. Everyone's happy. But what is the next chapter after this? Well, we know Project Resistance is around the corner, but that's just the spin-off just for, whatever, just to kind of hold people over. So this will really be the last kind of piece of this gen while we wrap up PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and this, terrible cycle of consoles. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below. What kind of story DLC would you like? Would you want it to be Ada? Marvin? Maybe you want to see Kendo. Maybe you want to see Hunk. I don't know what you want to see. What could they do? Like I said, the possibilities are endless because you're pulling from such great characters in Raccoon City, and the setting's great. And, I know some of you motherfuckers, it could be RE3 DLC, because, some people thought that making RE3 DLC was a great idea. No, it deserves its own fucking game. So you smartasses out there, you know who you are. Don't tease me with that shit. We're gonna get a story DLC for RE2, and we're gonna get RE3 Remake on its own. Capiche? Alright, until next time, I'm Anthony, and you're watching Let's Talk Resident Evil.